Hello, my History 11 homies. We are in Lexington, Massachusetts today. I'm gonna hit Concord in a minute too. I love this place. This is a place that we have been coming for years and years and years, well before we moved to New England. I would bend over backwards, go crazy, do anything I needed to do to get here. It's a place that means a lot to me. I'll tell you why in a little bit, but basically one of the main reasons I wanted to come today, and this is a place we come all the time. It's about an hour from our house. Nothing compared to a long ass flight, right? But the main reason I wanted to come today is because they are gearing up for next April will be the 250th anniversary since the start of the Revolutionary War. And of course we're in the epicenter. So I heard that somewhere there is a countdown clock, like they made a giant countdown clock showing how many days, minutes, seconds until next April 19th. And I also want to check out some new merch. I know that like historical societies and the park system and like they're all gearing up, and there should be some new merchandise and stuff. I want to see what that looks like and see what else is going on and maybe get some info about upcoming activities and just kind of check things out. Now, it is about 1,000,000 degrees today. Super hot, so I'm going to try to stick to shady areas. Don't know how long we're going to last from place to place, but I will show you what I can. And I mean, right now I'm in the shade and it feels fine, but yeah, it is humid. So we will see. And there's kind of some weird clouds, like looks like it could even rain. I don't know. It's unpredictable, but I'm excited to show you guys. We'll take a walk. I'll probably add some other things on too, maybe hit a couple cemeteries and show you the shops in Concord, and we'll do some walk and talks like regular and have a fun day here. So let's get going and have some fun. All right, here we've got the Lexington Historical Society. I did park right behind this. Parking is a little limited. You just have to know where to go in this town. But it looks like it is closed because they are giving it a makeover. I'm sure, you know, having the big anniversary coming is helping to get a lot of people going on renovating and having exciting things for that celebration and anniversary, and I think it's great. And this is showing the some of the properties that are ran by the Lexington Historical Society. We've got Buckman Tavern. We'll walk over there in a minute. As it says, meeting place of Lexington militia and witness to the first battle. It's right like across from the Green, so they would have seen everything that happened there. And Paul Revere did run in there to tell John Buckman what was going on. And he didn't say the British are coming, the British are coming. He said the regulars are out, just to clear that up. Then we've got the Hancock Clark House, which has ties to John Hancock. And then Reverend Jonas Clark. Amazing, amazing house. Awesome to tour. So much history in one place. And then Monroe Tavern, which was the field hospital to the Redcoats. And George Washington stopped there on his tour for president in 1789. So 3 wonderful historic properties, and this historic society, which is very, very, very closed. But you know, I'm sure that whatever they're working on is going to be great. So excited to look, you know, looking forward to that and whatever they've got going on. Oh yeah, so I talked the other day about this, but it will be the 200th anniversary of the return of the Marquis de Lafayette to America, and several of the great things going on there. So that's who that is right there. I thought that the countdown clock would be over here. It's not. So we're gonna keep searching. Maybe it's closer to the road, or maybe it's in the Green. I don't know. Hopefully it's out. I don't know if that's something that they bring in for inclement weather. I thought not, because it looks pretty big and durable from the pictures that I'd seen online about a month ago, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find it. And Lexington, like Concord, they're just wonderful, darling towns. Right now in 2024, very affluent and kind of prestigious, and really nice place to visit. We come here all the time because, you know, it's where it all began. It's where it's here. We've got the visitor center. I still don't see a countdown clock, so, but I will go in. They're always really nice in here, and maybe I'll just ask them. All right, here we go. So here's some of that merchandise I was telling you guys about. So we got some new stuff. Very nice. Oh, this is new. They've got mannequins dressed up. Kind of funny. Must be a time traveler. Some information about Lexington and the events of April 19th. Okay, and here we've got some information. Yeah, so like I've said before, the tea destruction really spiked things off, and if you remember, that's when they had to move things to Salem, Mass, and that also didn't last long, so then they kind of went back and forth, and then you had the powder alarms and the incident at Newcastle Island. Then you had this, and then a couple months later, Bunker Hill, of course. So that's kind of the early timeline. Oh, and then of course Washington showed up in Cambridge with his troops. And here we have a diorama showing the events of the day and the Battle of Lexington. Oh, when you guys see this, that is the Belfry. I can actually take you over there in a minute. I'll show you where that is. So fun. They've got a new pressed penny machine for the 250th with some fun designs. There's the Belfry. There's the Parker statue. It's awesome. We're gonna get one. Great, 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 great.
Am I doing this right?
I think so. Yeah. Keep going. It's just like the Disney things. Which one do we get?
No, he's a mannequin and they give him a 15-minute break.
Oh. It's the 250th one. It's this one. I really like this one. It's pretty nice. It's like a cute, like kind of, I wouldn't say cropped, but like it's a soft, a little more modern take on a, it's got this fun design in the back. Might get that at some point. That's kind of cool. Alrighty, we found out that the countdown clock is in front of Town Hall, so we're gonna go there. Of course, I have to show you Buckman Tavern. So the visitor center is right there. Buckman Tavern's right there, and there is the green where the battle happened. I'll show you. So here is incredible, amazing Buckman Tavern, circa 1709, and there is the Battle Green. So you guys get the idea. Everything's. And here is a memorial to the wonderful Prince Estabrook. He was a Black American who fought for the Patriot cause here, and they made this nice memorial for him in 2008, which I think is great. And he was the first Black American soldier to fight in the Revolutionary War, so he kind of set the pace there for those folks, and boy do I ever appreciate it. My son was pointing out that, which proud mom moment, he said, is that really true that it was Prince Estabrook was the first one since Crispus Attucks was at the Boston Massacre, and he was a young Black American, and you know, he actually he paid the ultimate price in that one. But I mean, it wasn't technically the battle. You could say it was leading up to it. He was on the Patriot side. He was also part of a group of instigators. It's complicated, but an interesting point. It's kind of like, is this really the opening of the war, or was it Newcastle Island? Well, this is the official start of the war, because this is where the first battle happened. Even though shots were fired over in Portsmouth, this was the battle. This is where you had militia, Minutemen, and the organized British military. So, yep, that's that school of thought. I think we're gonna tour Buckman Tavern today, but we'll go in and take a look, and I'll show you their gift shop and see what if they have anything for the 250th. It's not for the 250th per se, but I do like this shirt. I've never noticed it before. Ooh, that's tempting. These are cool.
Stretches all the way down the hall. We also offer tours of the store.
Man, that's a mug. Memorial to the Minutemen of Lexington. And you guys have probably heard this, but they were called Minutemen because it was said that they could get ready in a minute. Any minute. And here are those names. Sidebar, there was a lot of these people from Scotland in this area. You've got names like Monroe, Sanderson, which is one of my family names, and Harrington, Brown. You also have people from England and Ireland mixed in, but these were the guys on the Patriot side. And you can see just what a beautiful town it is. This is it, guys. This is the field where the opening shots were fired of the Revolutionary War. And Captain Parker famously said, "Stand your ground, don't fire unless fired upon, but if they mean to have a war, let it begin here." And it did. The battle went on, and then they moved down the road to the Concord Bridge. It was the shot heard around the world. Then the next day, after fighting all night and moving and running away, they had events known as Parker's Revenge. They were revenging Captain Parker, and they wound up in what was then Monotony, now the town of Arlington, where they had a big battle at the Jason Russell House. And now we are making our way towards the famous Captain Parker statue, which a lot of people mistakenly refer to as the Minuteman statue. This is not the Minuteman statue. The Minuteman statue by Daniel Chester French is at the Old North Bridge in Concord. This is the Captain Parker statue. Both beautiful, but not the same thing. And this sculpture is done by Henry Hudson Kitson. Again, not to be confused with the Minuteman statue by Daniel Chester French, but boy, is this lovely. And I always say, dang, Captain Parker was kind of cute. And here we've got the Lafayette tour sign. And this is just across from the Green and the Captain Parker statue.
It's actually a new one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Captain Parker did survive the battle here after commanding his men onto the Lexington Green. And he would go on to participate in the Siege of Boston, which was wonderful. He did not, unfortunately, he didn't make it to Bunker Hill. He died of tuberculosis. Not such an, he was like in his 40s. Ooh. But he will always be remembered here as the leader of this battle. And rightfully so. He was a good man, very, very brave in the face of danger. His men loved him, and very deserving of that. So if you continued going up there, the Lexington Belfry, where they sound the alarm that the battle was happening, it is up this hill, and they would also use it, you know, for any kind of emergencies in town. It rang every Sunday for the Sabbath, for getting people ready to go to church, things like that. The problem is it's quite overgrown. I see lots of buggies. I have no spray on, and I don't particularly want to get ticks on me. And it looks like a very ticky area, so bring it back in the winter time. Something so hot and we are glistening that I think we're gonna move the car closer to Town Hall so that we don't have to walk all the way down there, just because it's very, very, very warm. It's the kind of hot where you feel like, ugh, like swampy, dizzy, gross, yucky hot. So we're going to seek some beverages. I have water in the car, but there's a Cafe Nero in Concord. Oh, by the way, I heard some people in the visitor center earlier clearly visiting, and they kept saying Concord. Just to set the record straight, it is Concord. But yes, there's a Cafe Nero and they have good iced tea, so we'll be going there. Black leather seats in the summer All right, guys, here it is. I found it. Doesn't count the seconds. It's one that they must manually change every day. But we've got 259 days left to go. Very exciting. And it is down the street from Lexington Green, in front of the town offices. And this street is called Mass Avenue, or Mass Ave as we locals say. And Mass Ave goes all the way down. You can go to Boston. So you can be your own Paul Revere in 2024. I'm not gonna walk too much because I am completely sweaty. But just wanted to give you some perspective here. We were down there and came up here. We did move the car just because we are absolutely sweating. But yeah, pretty cool. I love that they're doing this. They actually had a ceremony, I believe it was just after the last Patriots Day in April. I just haven't made it. Typically I come here a lot, but it's just been busy and doing other things and work and life and stuff. But it won't be too long until we're here again because there's lots of events happening and fun things I will be coming back to check out. So like I said, you will get lots and lots of Lexington and Concord if you follow me, so don't worry about that. All right, we made it down the road to the Minuteman National Historic Park Visitor Center. So it's known as Battle Road Trail, the road that leads from Lexington to Concord and the North Bridge. And there's lots of stops along the way, houses they call witness sites that witness the battles, Paul Revere's capture site. Paul Revere is funny. He was actually captured by the British Redcoats and talked his way, he was temporarily arrested and talked his way out of it, and they let him go, which if you think about it now, that's kind of crazy. And there's, you know, historic taverns, trails along the way. You can walk it, see the ledge that they hid and fought from. And the national park runs these sections, so like the actual battle stuff, not in the towns, just the preserved area where the battles happened. And so we're kind of in the middle now, between Lexington and Concord. We drove like 8 minutes down the road, and they do show a film inside. There's a gift shop, and I want to see, because I think they have something new that they just found on display, and see what kind of merchandise they might have now and show you guys what this is like. These sections ran by the National Park Service are free to get in and look around and watch the film, so that's pretty cool. Sign back there said it's a 4-minute walk from the parking down this little pathway to the visitor center. So I can see the flag. We are almost there. You have to walk quickly because there's like billions, and if I were to stop, you'd see there's like gazillions, not even billions and trillions, gazillions of like nasty ants and stuff, and like a very ticky area too. So the trick is to just walk at super speed. So that's kind of what we're doing. Okay, well that really stinks. We got all the way down here, and here is this sign. For some reason, which I don't understand, it says they're only open Wednesday to Friday. So that's bogus. Show you what you're missing. I mean, we'll come back a different time so you guys can see inside. Inserting picture now so you guys can have a little sneak peek of the inside. There is a really neat like 3D or 4D multi, what do they call that, like visual experience movie that plays inside there. It's really great for kids, and heck, I enjoy it. And there's, like I said, ranger information maps, facilities, nice gift shop, but alas, it is closed on a Saturday in the summer. No idea why. So my son was just asking what was the museum that we went to a few months ago that was really cool, that had the paintings and the Daniel Chester French, and that's the Concord Museum. It is not affiliated with the national parks or Lexington Historical Society or anything like that. It's its own entity. It's a fabulous museum. They have, that's the one that I was telling you, if you watch my video where we go to Exeter and I talk about The original marquettes and models are down the road here at that Concord Museum. They also have one of the original lights that was hung in the Old North Church steeple, where of course Paul Revere saw it. It was one if by land, two if by sea, and it was two by sea. And beautiful paintings, musket balls, firearms, all kinds of stuff there, as well as like the history of Lexington, so of Concord. And the other thing about Concord, it has a lot of history. There's of course this Revolutionary War, colonial history, and things that happened after the war. The founding fathers' lives eventually went on, and generations would go on to stay here. This was a big farming area, but it would also go on to be home to a colony of famous authors such as Louisa Alcott, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and the like. And her orchard house, which is featured on, based on, and written Little Women, like it's the Little Women house, which is amazing. I've been in there. That'd be another fun thing to do. So lots to see in this area. We used to come and get a hotel and spend like days here. So this is a place I spent a lot of time. And but again, this is kind of the whistle stop tour. So all right, guys, we made it to Concord Center, and surprise, there's like a big craft fair going on, so we might go look at that. And just checking out here, it looks like they are going to be having their own commemorative coin, which is pretty fun. I am actually part of the planning committee for my town's 250th celebration of America, and we also came up with a commemorative coin that's being worked on, and I'm super excited. Is there a coin, like I said, at the Concord Visitor Center? And here, right in downtown Concord, is the old burying ground. Not to be confused with the Sleepy Hollow cemetery that is up the hill, and that is where a lot of famous people are buried. And that should not be confused with the famous Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in Sleepy Hollow, New York, one of my favorite places on the planet. This is the old burying ground, and some of these graves are very old and very neat. We've got more veterans and people who are founders of the area. Some of these are very old. You see this old stone wall. I'm sure you guys maybe have noticed it in a lot of my videos. These will come up time and time again. They're throughout New England. They are actually protected by the Bureau of Land Management. Each stone wall is considered a historic site, so it's kind of fun. They were like old boundary markers and original fencing kind of a thing. This was farmland, so I'm sure there would have been, some of the stone walls, of course, have crumbled or been lost to time, but you will find throughout. But you have to imagine that this, there's a parking lot and a business right there. That was not there. So this was somebody's property, and that is the original stone wall, which is awesome. And now getting some refreshment, much needed, and a nice little lunch. All right, well, the craft fair is over, so wah on that, but it's okay. We still have some more stuff we can show you. All right, I brought you to the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in Concord. You just leave the center of town where we were, go up the hill, and it is a huge area. A lot of notable people here. I'm going to show you some of them. And here we will start with the final resting place of Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, he for a while also lived in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and he's got a cool property there with awesome trails and signage with some of his poems written on them, and you can kind of walk around the trail and reflect there. His farmhouse is there. Later on, he did live here, and this is his final resting place. I think most of you would know him from the poem that says, "Two roads diverge into one, and I took the one less traveled." Super quotable. That's him. And this area up here is known as Author's Ridge of the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Again, not to be confused with the other Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in New York of Washington Irving fame for the legend of Sleepy Hollow, which depicts the Hessian headless horseman, based upon tales he heard during his childhood of soldiers that came into town there and terrorized. But that is a whole different story. We will go over it some other time because I do love the Tarrytown Sleepy Hollow area. One of our favorite places, especially in the fall. It's just a very picturesque place. They get lots of good color changing there, and the vibe is out of sight. But right now we are enjoying this vibe. And again, it is very, very, very hot. But that's okay. Adventure calls. See? Telling you that his grave is down there, and there are little markers throughout. Lots of notable people in here. And another very notable author here. This is the grave of Louisa May Alcott, who wrote the Little Women series and many others. She was a native of Concord, Mass, and here's her final resting place. You can see people leave writing devices there. Kind of funny. Up here on Author's Ridge. And here we've got the graves of the Hawthorne family, including Nathaniel Hawthorne. Another very notable author from the time, and these people were all friends, knew each other, and kind of created the writers' colony up here. They were part of a movement called the Transcendentalist movement, and they kind of made this area their home for a while so that they could swap creative ideas. And here you guys go, the final resting place of the amazing Daniel Chester French. So, yeah, when I told you guys in Exeter that he was buried here, here you go, here it is. Amazing man, contributed so much to the beauty of this country and keeping the history alive, and through his artistry and his sculpting. Amazing stuff. The kids saying you think he'd have a better grave since he was a sculptor. That's a good point. I mean, it's okay, it's nice, but yeah, I guess
Like, this grave here is massive.
The cemetery is massive. Like, look, I mean, is your stuff down there, up there? It's ginormous. It goes all around. Yeah. These are cool. It's got musical fleur-de-lis and Gardner, Mass. And this one has the Bible. Really different style from what you usually see. Neat. What's this one? Can't. A Christian gentleman. But who is he? I don't know. Now, I believe at the entry, a different entry than when we came into this cemetery, there is actually a Daniel Chester French sculpture, not to himself, but to something. If I remember, if that's this cemetery, I don't know. His work is everywhere, and I've been to a lot of historic cemeteries, and there's a lot in this area. But I think that's what it is. We'll find out. Oh yeah, that is something you don't see every day. Veteran of the Spanish-American War. Maybe it's pronounced Hayor. Nope, there's no other way to say it. Okay, yes, so I was correct. There is a Daniel Chester French in here, which is amazing, and I forgot how cool it was. It's been a little while since I've been here. So this is the Melvin Memorial. These are 3 brothers that sadly passed away during the Civil War. Can't imagine, like, their mother. Asa, the oldest, James, and John. Oof. And this one, Asa, he died in a Confederate prison, which either way, like if you were caught and sent to one of those, like if you're from the north and you got taken to the south and vice versa, those prisons were brutal. Men died of disease and starvation. It was really, really an ugly thing. Really sad. but really beautiful. And amazing to have a Daniel Chester French sculpture here, where he's also laid to rest. But wow, it's incredible. Really beautiful. In memory of 3 brothers born in Concord who were private soldiers, lives in the war to save the country. This memorial is placed here by their survivors. Their surviving brother, himself a private soldier in the same war. Oh, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Really sad. Members of Company K, 1st Massachusetts Heavy Artillery. Wow. Well, they did not die in vain. And this beautiful memorial is here to tell their story, which is very cool. Not everybody is so blessed to have that, so that's something. You can see here in this photograph, these were veterans from his artillery unit that were here at the dedication. I can't imagine how full circle and strange that must have been for these guys. Wow. Beautiful, peaceful cemetery. Really, really lovely. Big. And this memorial, which in and of itself is worth coming to take a look at, is just at the top of the hill as you come into the entrance. So yeah, you guys want to see it? I highly recommend. And I just wanted to show you guys a little taste of some more of what's available here to enjoy. So the old Manse, was home to both, at one time, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Nathaniel Hawthorne. I'll show you. It's a really cool house. And this is not part of the Concord Historical Society. It's not a national park. This is the Trustees, which is another New England independent historical society. Really, really cool house. It typically is open. Of course, it's getting to be the evening, so it's not open now, but it is a place that you can tour, along with all the other authors. Between 2 tall gateposts of rough-hewn stone, we beheld the gray of the old parsonage, Nathaniel Hawthorne, on the Old Manse, 1842. And yeah, accurate description. Beautiful gardens. You can hear cricket mania going on up there. And we are very, very close to the North Bridge, where shots were fired during the Revolutionary War. So yeah, there's a lot of different types of history here. Not just Revolutionary War, but and these grounds are just gorgeous. This is like fairy tale gorgeous, you guys. I mean, what's not to love? Look at. This is what my dreams are made of. This kind of stuff. I live for, old stone walls and colonial architecture and history all around. That's why we love New England so much. I mean, you can find similar throughout, but this place is special. I have never walked to it this way from the Old Manse, but wait till you see what I'm going to show you. Here we go. Here on April 19, 1775 was made the first forcible resistance to British aggression. On the opposite bank stood the American militia. Here stood the invading army, and in this spot the enemy fell in the War of the Revolution, which gave independence to the United States. To gratitude to God and in the love of freedom, this monument was erected in 1886. Unbelievable. Does not get old. Can't get enough. And there it is. The North Bridge. A shot heard round the world. When you stop to think that those words penned, you know, quote, shot herds around the world, was written by Emerson, who lived right there. I mean, this was at his doorstep. They even have here, because this was the British side, you know, and men just dropped and they were placed in mass graves, and this is one of them, so here's a memorial for that. I have no idea why, but I just heard fife, like a fife and drum. Weird. My husband wants to get kayaks. This is something that he's been talking about a lot lately, and I'm like, I don't know, but I must say that that does look quite fun. He might convince me after all. Another contribution by Daniel Chester French. Here is the Minuteman statue. Famous. It's used by it's the National Guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the National Guard. It's really beautiful. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze unfurled. Here once the embattled farmer stood and fired the shot heard round the world. So they came from out there, down and around, and our side approached from this way, and they came from over there, and that's where it went down. After this, it was, you know, a whole day of retreat and fighting, skirmishes, hiding, Parker's revenge, and eventually getting to Monotony, now Arlington, where more fighting broke out. But this pivotal moment here is captured forever by this beautiful monument. It was a local guy, Colonel James Barrett of Concord, that led the men to this moment in time, and he actually had 5 different groups of Minutemen from local towns that were marching with him. You know, I love this. 1770, okay, so 5 years before the war broke out. Reverend William Emerson, Ralph Waldo's dad, challenged his congregation to turn their eyes from their farms to a larger struggle against British rule. 5 years later, Concord would become a center of rebellion and home to the Battle of Concord, one of the first in American Revolution. And here is the North Bridge Visitor Center. This is the other one I told you about that is kind of like a bigger visitor center. They are closed for the day, but I wanted to show it to you. And they do have like artifacts and displays and information and a small gift shop in there. And we'll walk over here and I'll show you the view. Buttrick House. That is the foundation from what year? 1697. There are all kinds of cool paths here and ways around down to North Bridge. Lots of trails and everything. I have had about all the sweating that I can take, so I'm probably going to wrap it up. But I just want to show you guys a little bit of what's here. It's really, really nice. About a beautiful place to remember our Patriot victory. There's 400 of us, 90 of them, 3 sadly dead, but wow, we did it. All right, that's all the sweaty. I'm literally like dripping sweat, but I am that history chick. I know no way of judging the future but by the past. I love this past. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do me a favor. I see that you're watching, you're liking, you're sharing. Hit those subscribe buttons so that you can keep getting all the fun content. I've got so much more coming up, and like I said, we're going to be following things, if you really like this, so many more things like this, and leading up to the 250th and for the 250th anniversary of the start of the revolution. And it's my wheelhouse, and this is stuff I love. So yeah, give that subscribe button the good old click, and we will see you soon. Take care, bye. Nicolas Cage? I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Wait, he doesn't sound like that. What was that? That is weird. Why was a piece cut out? And then, like, you think there's something hidden behind it? Is it a code to find the Declaration of Independence? You better call Benjamin Franklin Gates. Interesting. Samuel. Unfortunate. Pencil boy. Guess he had a pencil factory in New Hampshire. Hello, pencil boy. The kid's saying she's emo girl. She looks like she'd listen to Nirvana. And what else did you say?
She's alternative.
She's alternative. Emo girl. Would she go to Bath State, Disneyland? It is so hot. Even Hamish is sweating. And look at, he's got a wool coat and a kilt on, poor guy.